Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and I am joined, as always, by a man who never goes to visit Grandma and Grandpa. His name is Mike Roth.
That's because they're almost all deceased.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I have.
it just got
I
dark.
have one, and she's awesome. She is almost 100 years old. No, I think she is 100 years old.
Wait, has Willard Scott contacted her?
No.
We might need to get her on the Smuckers Jam sponsored thing. Nana Roth is 100 years old. I don't know.
Beautiful woman.
Beautiful lady, of course, no doubt about it. This week we have a couple of movies that came into the box office, and we're here to talk about them. That's why we're here today. So let's get right into it with this week's movies on the marquee. First up, we're going to start with the newest movie from beloved director M. Night Shyamalan.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, the man who, he's America's favorite director, most trusted director.
Yeah, the poor guy. He came out with his first couple of movies were just awesome, and ever since then he's been kind of
tough sledding.
It's been tough sledding. But if you start off at a low point and never do anything better, like Michael Bay,
or like we've been doing.
Yeah. then no one has anything to compare it to.
Well, this week we have The Visit, written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Olivia DeJonge as Becca, Ed Oxenbould as Tyler. These are the two kids that are going to see Grandma and Grandpa. And this is, Becca wants to be a documentary filmmaker. She wants to be a filmmaker. So this is a quote-unquote found footage film. As the two of them both have their cameras, they're shooting everything, and it becomes a pseudo-documentary that she's making about her mom's life because they're being sent to visit Grandma and Grandpa, played by Deanna Dunnigan and Peter McRobbie. And their mom, played by Catherine Hahn, sends them to go stay with Grandma and Grandpa. They've never met Grandma and Grandpa because there was something that happened between Catherine Hahn's character and her parents when she was 19 years old, where she left and has never come back. The kids don't know Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma and Grandpa have never met the kids. You're going to spend a weekend with them. Have fun. I'm going to put you on a train, go visit them, have fun. I'm going on a cruise. And so it's the whole thing is filmed in the found footage style, and there's Grandma and Grandpa have some issues going on. There's some weird things going on with them. And there's at night things happen. The kids have to go to bed at 9:30. Grandma and Grandpa go to bed at 9:30. Nan and Papa go to bed at 9:30 because after dark, weird things happen with them.
I believe it says in the trailer, during the day they're crazy, at night they're crazier.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. So they're out on this farm, out in the middle of nowhere, and every night they hear noises. Things are going on in the house. They peek out there, they check it out, and they see some weird things going on with Nana.
Yeah.
There's a lot of craziness going on.
Oh, yeah. Every night.
Yeah,
every night. And it just gets a little bit creepier every single time. And I think they did a good job at building the suspense. Yeah, they start with a little creepy, and full-blown wacko later.
You know, there's one thing, it's a little thing, but I really enjoyed was there's like chapter markers for each day. So each night something crazy will be going on, and it'll give you a scare. And just when it's starting to get a little crazy, you'll get this chapter marker that comes up and says Wednesday morning now, and it says blood red Wednesday morning, and it's almost like whew, we made it through that night.
Yep.
And it's fun, and it marks the time that they're there because you know they're there for a week, and so it's a great way of marking the time. It's a great way of relief from that craziness, and now let's start the new day.
It gives a good sense of pacing, too.
Yes.
I mean, really, you know every day it's going to be a little worse, but you get that little break, and you could kind of feel how strenuous this has to be on the kids knowing, oh, yay, it's Monday. Oh, things are a little weird. Oh, Tuesday. Oh, Wednesday. Oh.
What's going on that barn? Why is Papa always out in the barn?
Yeah,
There's a lot going on, but really the story is centered on the kids, Becca and Tyler.
Yeah.
And I thought they were great.
Yes.
I thought both of them were great. Tyler was hilarious as, what was his name, T. Diamond or whatever?
T. Diamond Stylist, yes.
Oh, so great. He's a freestyler.
Actually, that was one of the things that just kind of made me go, oh my gosh, I wish M. Night just kind of said, no, this part's not working. Why don't we just get rid of the whole watching him rap for a while?
Well, you only get 2 or 3 of them in the movie.
I know. I realized that. Made me think they were trying to launch his rap career.
It might be.
hope not.
It could be.
He's not that good.
And it really, I mean, this movie is Hansel and Gretel storyline, more or less.
Yeah, I would
And
say.
you know, going to visit Grandma and Grandpa, and crazy things are happening. And the couple that plays Grandma and Grandpa, Nana and Papa, I thought were really effective.
I thought
Really sweet, but not all there. You can tell something's going on.
I was very surprised with Deanna Dunnigan. I actually never heard of her before.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actress, and she's in her 70s, and she's actually in really good shape. I have no
You
idea.
see a lot of it.
Yeah, you do see a lot of it if you are into elderly naked scenes.
Yeah, there's plenty of them in here,
In
but-
it, but
But she plays the sweet old grandma great, and like, ooh, a little crazy.
yeah, and when you see her. She kind of degrades her physical appearance, and she starts off looking really spry and healthy. And to watch this degradation, it was just it was creepy.
There's some
it was
great
a very
scenes, like
creepy
when
movie.
Becca is interviewing her for this documentary, and there's a great reaction as she asks her, "What happened with you and my mom the day she left? What happened all those years ago? Tell me about it." And her reaction to that was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was really extraordinary. It felt like this movie. It felt like M. Night Shyamalan was having fun for the first time in a long time. It felt like he was having fun. It felt like his last few movies, After Earth especially, it felt like he was feeling the pressure of, I've got to deliver a movie.
Yeah.
I've got to deliver. I am a laughing stock in Hollywood right now. And it felt like this one, he was just like, I'm going to hit, yes, it's hitting every horror cliche.
And from what I hear, those last couple of movies were pretty much hijacked by producers.
Well, no, it wasn't hijacked. He shouldn't have had power because he was failing miserably.
Yeah.
To the point where After Earth, they wouldn't even advertise that was an M. Night movie.
Yeah.
His name was completely kept off the posters because they knew that would kill the movie.
Well, in this case, this is pretty much a movie that he had complete control over. It's his lowest budget ever because he
He had to
wanted
start
to
over.
have the complete control. And I think it did well. I think if you compare it to his earlier stuff, I mean, it's not Sixth Sense, it's not Unbreakable, but as far as a horror movie goes, and that's, I think, is solidly a horror movie, it is a great movie. I mean, horror movies are really hard to do, and a lot of people just cookie cutter and throw them out, especially Blumhouse. It's very hit and miss.
That's what
It
they
seems
do
like
with the
that's-
production company,
Yeah, and I was really happy with this piece. I thought it was nice to see M. Night come back a little bit.
I mean, it is, and this is kind of what we talked about with the Wachowski siblings with Jupiter Ascending, is now we need to take the money away from them, and if they want to start over, they're going to have to start from the bottom again with the low-budget movie and prove they can make a movie again. It's the same thing with M. Night. You failed your last 3-4 movies, have been failures.
Yep.
We're not going to give you any more money to lose.
Yeah.
If you want to make a movie, you're going to have to start at the bottom again and work your way up, prove you can make a movie again. And he did a good job. Now, I think this movie hit every horror cliche. The jump scares,
Yeah.
the found footage, which I mean, I can't go on again about how much I hate found footage, but I
really
thought it
hate
was
found
used well in this movie at least.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that there was, it did a good job of withholding info, which he used it the right way. I still am not a fan of the found footage, but I think this is the best that it's been done in quite a while.
Yeah,
in a tired concept.
I really haven't liked a found footage movie since
Yeah, I
Cloverfield.
mean, we've bashed on them endlessly.
And we see one every month because they are so cheap to make, and that's the reason why he was able to make this movie for $5 million and then pump it out, and he, like, 5 times more than that. I think he brought in $28 million over the weekend. That kind of just proves that found footage works. I hate it when people prove this.
Right. I mean, for me, the big thing is that, I mean, over the last decade, M. Night Shyamalan has been a punchline in Hollywood and a punchline for movie audiences. And he's proved that redemption in Hollywood especially is always right around the corner. Redemption is never more than one good movie away to be like, you know what, you got it again. All right. And I'm glad because I do enjoy good M. Night Shyamalan movies. I loathe bad M. Night Shyamalan movies. He is two very different ends of the spectrum. And this one I thought was fun. I loved the female singer gag that Tyler was using throughout the movie. In replace of his swear words. That just brought a chuckle every time. Even in the most tragic circumstances when you just hear him whisper, Katy Perry.
I think with this movie, I really enjoyed the acting. I think, what was Ed Oxbold?
Yep.
I think his movements was a little stiff, but otherwise, I thought
He's the youngest cast member.
his character was funny and engaging. I thought that the minor plots, like the loss of the father and stuff like that, I thought they were interesting. Deanna Dungan, she stole the show for me.
She's really great. I enjoy
I
Catherine
really
Hahn. I like her a lot.
I like Peter McRobbie too. I mean, he's
and as always,
they did a really good job.
As always with an M. Night movie, there's a reveal at the end.
Yeah.
But it's not a twist for twist's sake, like they started to be for a while.
Yeah.
This one was, I thought it was decent. So overall, what did you end up giving?
I gave it 3.5. It's one of the better horror movies that I've seen this year. I think par with The Following. I think that was the other one that I really liked.
It Follows.
It Follows, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave it 3.5 as well. I gave it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a nice, refreshing horror movie as compared to what we've had recently. But next up, moving on, what do you have on the marquee this week?
I saw the other movie, which would be The Perfect Guy. It's weird that your two only movies happen to kind of fall in the same genre, but Perfect Guy is suspense/horror. Well, I'll just give you the plot. Leah, she just broke up with her boyfriend. She is having a relationship for 2 years. She wants to take it to the next step, but her boyfriend, Dave, played by Morris Chestnut, he's like, no, I'm not ready for kids right now. Don't pressure me. I've seen too many people go into divorce. Let's not do this. Let's just keep things the way they are. Well, Leah says, no, I can't do that. We're done. And she focuses on her career, and then she meets this handsome, charming guy, Carter, played by Michael Ealy.
Nope.
He's a handsome. He's seems
perfect.
to be. He is the perfect guy. The friends love him. Her parents love him. And everything is awesome until there is a little confrontation at a gas station. She's like, "Ooh, this is the real you. I don't want to be with this kind of person, but he's obsessed." It is it's a whirlwind of craziness. They try to portray Michael Ealy as the creepy stalker that everybody's scared of. It's weird. I didn't get that feeling.
He just came off as robotic.
Yeah.
And
humorous. I actually
pouty. A lot of poutiness.
A lot of poutiness.
Like, that's not menacing.
No. There was parts in this movie where I'm supposed to get a tinge of, oh, that's creepy. Like, oh, it's a Cape Fear kind of situation. I laughed out loud quite a few times. I ended up liking the movie because it was bad.
A good bad movie.
It was a good bad movie. I was interested throughout the plot, even though the plot's not complicated. It's been done many times before. The acting is actually terrible. Besides Morris Chestnut, everyone in there was very stiff and felt like they had no idea why they were there and then told to go home.
It was really bad direction in this movie. David Rosenthal did a really bad job in directing this movie.
There was scenes where you had no idea where they, when Leah gets back together with Dave, for some reason they're just whisked away onto a mountaintop. I'm like,
why?
How did they get to this mountaintop, and why is this mountaintop important for this get to back together?
There's so much in the movie, though, that, I mean,
but in a way that made it so bad where I actually started smiling a little bit and I started enjoying the movie.
It felt like David Rosenthal thought he was being really tricky and really sneaky. I mean, the clues that he dropped in were dropped with a thud. Just bang, here's a clue for you. Don't figure anything out for yourself. I mean, the typical, when he's the perfect guy, he's wearing white. Mm-hmm. The moment he has the altercation, he's all in black. When he got in the car, he was wearing white.
Yeah.
When he got out at the gas station, he's all in black. He's a bad guy now. Like that subliminal thing, like, this is what I'll do. Mm-hmm. Just awful. And every character not named Leah or Carter felt like they were just set dressing that would come to life when they were talked to. Like the girlfriends who only meet, these
terrible.
are straight out of Central Casting. The girlfriends that only meet to have coffee and gossip about love lives. Mm-hmm. The one scene was only, I think, set up so the one girl could drop the title of the movie. Like, oh, he's the perfect guy. And like stare into the camera as she says it. Like, you are not real people.
Well, you even have great actors like Charles Dutton, who played Roger, who was Leah's father. He puts it on really thick. In the beginning, he's holding on to a present. Leah introduces her boyfriend. And I'm not shaking your hand. And literally, it felt like a half hour later, he was bought. I love this guy. He just got me tickets to a ball game.
And here's the thing, Charles Dutton is a great actor.
He is a
Charles
great actor.
Dutton has made me cry in movies before. He is a phenomenal actor, and the parents are introduced and ultimately forgotten instantly.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Ealy is stalking. This is a very much a "if I can't have you, no one will" movie.
Yeah.
In fact, they go so far as to
Actually
put
say-
that card
Yeah.
in. He puts that card on her car in an empty parking garage. Like, I don't know how
And
many
it's-
cliches you can jam into one scene.
And as part of the audience, you're like, well, I wasn't expecting that.
Right. If I can't have you, no one will. Terrific. But so he's stalking and he's destroying people around her, and I'm going. So we're obviously he's going to go after the parents because that's what she loves. And
No.
you're going, no. Like, could you only get Charles Dutton for the one day of shooting?
Probably.
Like, can we come back to have him threaten you?
Well,
no, I'm not doing that.
They even have a Rutini Wesley, I think. What is her name? She was from True Blood. She was one of Leah's friends. Either way.
Got it. Don't watch True Blood.
Yeah, I really liked her character in True Blood. She's a good actor. She has a lot of personality and charisma, but when you saw her, and even though she's a forgotten character, she's just one of Leah's friends, she had no personality.
None of the friends did.
I am reading my lines, and that's all you're going to get.
No, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
it
go
was
home.
like from back-to-back scenes, like, why didn't you listen him out? He is the perfect guy. See what he has to say. And then like, oh, get away from him. He's not a perfect guy anymore. Like, you're a terrible friend. You give awful advice. You should just drink your coffee and stop talking. It's just, there's no tension. This is a thriller.
Yeah.
There is no tension in this movie at all.
Did you find at least some of the parts were hilarious?
No, they were hilarious. Unintentionally hilarious, 100%.
This whole pretty much revolved around just like two scenes that the director had an idea and he made a short.
Yeah.
And it was the goblet scene and the toothbrush scene, which they're supposed to creep you out, but instead I actually laughed
I
out
laughed
loud.
at the goblet scene.
Yeah. I laughed, I think, more at this movie than I have a lot of actual comedies that
There's
have been coming out this year.
nothing menacing about this movie. They build no tension. The director does not allow it.
No.
A great thriller, you slowly build tension. There's reveals as you go along, and it builds this. There's nothing that put me on the edge of my seat in this movie.
The sets weren't even good. Her house
No.
looked like an old restaurant, and the restaurant that they did go to, I think they went to the same restaurant every single time. Every night.
Every night, let's go to this restaurant. Yeah, he was always. At one point, when she gets back together with Dave, like, let's go out to dinner. And they're literally at the restaurant where this guy has always been seen.
And it's supposed
like,
to be
what's he doing here?
Well, it's the only restaurant in town.
Apparently, we're at the Regal Beagle. It's the only place to go. It's ridiculous. And Michael Ealy will never be called menacing by anyone. I think he's a fine actor.
No.
Nothing special. Sanaa Lathan, I like. I like her as an actress. I thought she was serviceable in this, but she didn't have a lot to work with.
I think Morris Chestnut is the better actor of the three main actors.
Right, but he's in the movie for all of 12 minutes.
Yeah, and he's not utilized.
No,
so
not at all.
There we go.
Yeah, and so, I mean, ultimately, it's just, if you're going to make a thriller, if you're going to make this stalker movie, I Can't Have You, No One Will, first off, that's a Lifetime movie to begin, and this felt like a Lifetime movie. It felt like she was starring Joanna Kearns or Judy Gold, one of these, and there was no threat at all in this movie.
No.
Way more laughs than scares. That's
No.
not good.
But it still made money.
Well, of course it did. I mean, it is the doldrums of movie season right now, the final week of the doldrums.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, I just didn't enjoy it at all.
I'm curious, what is your score for this?
That's a darn good question you asked me, Michael. Ultimately, I gave it 1.5 stars, I
Oh.
believe. Is that what I gave it? Yeah,
It's right there.
it's right there. 1.5 stars. I think it's a really, really weak attempt at what can usually be a fairly easy genre to do. Thriller should be a fairly easy genre to build.
Yeah, but they didn't. They just wanted to cookie cut this one
Yeah.
up. I mean, I think it was written and made in less than a year. This was all because of the success of the last year's movie that really sucked. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it.
There were a
Why
lot
do
of
I
them
start
last
these
year.
conversations?
I don't know. You
and I can't
backed
even-
yourself in the corner.
I know, I really did.
Oh, what's his name? What's that movie?
My gosh. Well, I'm going to
All
just
right.
stop thinking about
Moving
it.
on, what was your score, though?
My score, it sounds weird, but I gave it a 3. I enjoyed it, but it was so bad that I enjoyed it. It's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes to me.
man.
You don't see Attack of the Killer Tomatoes because it's a great movie.
Fair
you
enough.
see it because it's bad, and for some reason you enjoy it.
give you that.
reason enjoyed this movie.
I'll give you that. All right, moving on to our Real Reviews movie throwback segment. We have, what?
You should get some like background thing.
Some background thing?
Yeah, some
We'll
background
work on
thing
that.
behind us for throwback.
All right, work on that, guys.
All
right. So, for our Real Reviews movie throwback this week, we are going to go with another Stalker movie. But you know what? This one was intentionally funny. And that is 1996's The Cable Guy, starring Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, written and directed, and also starring Ben Stiller. And this was Jim Carrey plays Chip, or whatever his name is.
Yep.
And he is the title character of The Cable Guy. Matthew Broderick just breaks up with his girlfriend, and he's off on his own in his own apartment. He orders up some cable. Jim Carrey shows up to install it, and Jim Carrey wants to be his best friend.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm a lonely guy. This guy seems a little weird, but he's nice and friendly, and he can score me some free cable, so why not? Sure, I'll hang out with you, weird cable guy. And that is when you are my new best friend, and we will always be best friends. And I will sabotage anyone who wants to come between us.
No one else will have you.
No one. Not your friend Jack Black, not your girlfriend who wants to get back together with you. We are best buds.
Yep.
And Jim Carrey plays it up as Jim Carrey does in full insanity. And stalking Matthew Broderick, there's some hilarious bits in here.
Oh,
I mean, the whole medieval times scene is just classic to this day.
I still am tempted every time I see a window not to pull up my shirt, put my nipple against it, and go,
Billy.
"Oh, Billy!"
It's hilarious. The porno password.
Oh,
I
gosh.
mean, there's so many great scenes in this. And the first time I saw this movie, I actually didn't care for it because I thought it was a little much. And upon the next 72 viewings, I really enjoyed it. I think it's an underrated Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah, it's actually
It
if you
an
take a
underrated
look at the
Matthew
reviews.
Broderick.
The reviews were horrible
Yeah,
for
it got trashed.
But it is a great dark comedy. And
Yeah.
you don't see dark comedies really rising up to ranks of, hey, this is really good. People quote this thing all the time. Everybody knows this movie. It's a lot of people like me, myself, and Irene, which is another dark comedy
Yep.
but I believe people probably reference Cable Guy way more.
It's really good. Matthew Broderick plays the timid guy who doesn't know, can't be mean to Jim Carrey's character, can't just chase him off and tell him what and Jim Carrey just plays it dark, and there's some menacing scenes, there's some heartbreaking scenes we talked about his childhood.
Extremely creepy scenes, too.
Yeah, and oh man, the basketball scene, when they're playing basketball in the gym, and he's just full on crazy, breaking backboards, and just, it's a really enjoyable film. And you have the whole subplot of the pseudo Menendez brothers trial going on throughout the entire movie of Ben Stiller playing the evil twins, killed their parents.
Fun fact, I guess Jim Carrey can't even dribble a ball. So that ball was all added in after he pantomimed
so funny.
knowing how to play basketball.
on.
Who can't dribble a basketball? I don't know.
I highly recommend The Cable Guy, though. I think in the pantheon of Jim Carrey movies, especially his comedies, as opposed to his great dramas, I think it's a really underrated one. And I believe this came right after The Mask. I want to say this was right after The Mask.
He did not do dark comedies before this.
Yeah, and
He
so I
was
think
known
this was
as-
after The Mask, and The Mask was, I mean, if you want over the top, it doesn't get more over the top than
No.
that. And I think this was like, ooh, what's this? This isn't crazy like I'm used to.
Yeah, it's definitely not Ace Ventura.
Yeah. But it's a great movie.
He got paid big bucks for it, though.
Well, yeah, this was when he
20
was getting
mil?
into the 20 million range.
Yeah.
And he was up there with the Tom Cruises of the world making 20 million. So, yeah, but if you have not seen The Cable Guy recently, I highly recommend it as our Real Reviews movie throwback. Moving forward, though, Michael, let's take a look at what is coming soon, the weekend of September 23rd. Does that sound right? Or September 25th. I can't even read my own handwriting.
Oh, wow.
September 25th. Let's go with
Perfect.
that. That might be a Friday. But that weekend, we have 4 movies coming out. The first one is, I don't speak Spanish. I think it's called Sicario.
Yes,
I wish
it
I'd
is.
say it in the theater.
No, you're right.
All right, very good.
I wouldn't be able to say it, but I could recognize it when I hear it.
And this is, actually, this week it's expanding out into nationwide theaters. And it is the newest movie starring Benicio del Toro, Emily Blunt, James Brolin, I think? No, somebody. Sorry. And it is all about Emily Blunt joining a task force going down into Mexico to try and take down the cartel. And it's not as easy as you think. Maybe not everything is as it seems.
I'm really hoping we get this movie. I know
It's in
officially,
6 theaters this week.
Yeah.
By the 25th, it's supposed to be nationwide then.
Okay.
So yeah, I am fairly confident this is going to be one of the bigger movies that week. The second movie we have that week, I believe, is Hotel Transylvania 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sequel to the Adam Sandler and cast animated film. My kids really enjoy the first one.
I haven't seen the first one. I know. It's weird. I kind of lost a lot of my joy for Adam Sandler movies over the years. Yeah.
Oh, man,
Sorry.
you should probably go watch 8 Crazy Nights. That'll really put the dagger in
I
it. That'll be
already-
the final nail in that coffin.
I'm not going to watch it.
All right, then. The next movie we have that weekend is, I think we have The Intern coming out. The Intern starring Anne Hathaway and Bobby De Niro. I call him Bobby.
Yep.
And it looks fun. It's a little sweet movie. Anne Hathaway is an overworked business executive. She has to take on an intern. The intern is way older than her, though.
Crazy.
What? Your intern is
He wears a suit to work?
This
What?
is silly, guys. I hope they can learn from each other.
Yep.
That's all I hope.
You can't forget about the horror movie that week.
Right. And last but not least, of course, we have the newest movie from actor, director, writer Eli Roth. We have The Green Inferno. Mike, what do you think about cannibalism?
I think it belongs only in horror movies. I look at the trailers for this and I'm not really excited at all, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I always hope I'm wrong when I see something that I dread seeing.
I am absolutely not a fan of Eli Roth movies. I think he's a fine actor. I think he's a really overinflated self-ego as a director and a writer.
I loved Cabin Fever, but that was a long, long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, and this one, I mean, just reading what I've read about this movie, it is all about just the shock value of showing cannibalism on screen. And so you don't get any of that really in the trailer, but
Thing is it's not a shock value anymore. It's the only thing people could really do for movie theaters now to shock you is just show excessive amount of blood and gore. We just saw a movie that tried shock value of showing long, torturous deaths,
Yeah.
and it's not interesting anymore. This
I was
is not
shocked by how much I hated it.
This is not like the 70s anymore when you show the deliverance scene and everybody remembers it forever. Now when you show things like that over and over again, you better have some great writing to back it up.
That's the whole thing, exactly. You can't get by on that anymore.
No.
You have to have something else behind it, and I don't like to prejudge movies. I have tepid anticipation for The Green Inferno.
Yeah, let's hope we are going to love it in the end.
Like I always root for a good movie. I don't want to see a bad movie. We see enough of them unintentionally.
But you know what? Bad movies are so much more fun to review.
Sometimes
really
they are a lot more fun. But so that is what is coming out the weekend of September 25th. Before we leave you, of course, we would like to thank our sponsor, Marcus Theaters, the Palace here in beautiful Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Thank you for sponsoring our show. We always look forward to sitting in those dream loungers, maybe in the bistro, having some delicious cheese curds. That's what, every time I get put in the bistro, sometimes I won't even realize that I bought a bistro or went into a bistro movie, and it's like, great, now I'm going to have to eat the cheese curds.
You know, I rarely
There it
get
goes
the
right
popcorn because you can bring the pizzas, the Incredible pizzas,
Incredible, I've
into
heard
the
of 'em.
theaters with you. So the pizzas are almost equivalent to the same amount as a large popcorn. So I just get the pizza.
Why not?
That's a tasty piece of thing.
If you want to find more from us, please do so on Facebook. You can find us there. Real Reviews TV will get you there. Or if you want to follow us on Twitter, you want to tweet to us, retweet us, have us retweet you, all the things that happen on a Twitter feed, you can do so at Real Reviews TV. I don't know what I just said. You can find more of us if you can only watch us on YouTube, perhaps. People have that issue. They can only view us on YouTube. You can find us there, Real Reviews, KSUN. You can find us on KSUN.TV along with all of the other shows here on this beautiful network.
You could even find us on our local radio station,
Yes.
103.5.
The Sun.
The Sun.
Yes, find us there. Check your local listings, as they say.
Unless you're in a different state, don't tune
Don't
into
do that. Don't do
station.
that at all.
Yeah.
But until next week, we've got a plethora of movies.
And we're back.
We're back. My name is Jameson.
I'm Mike Roth.
Thanks for watching.